After 9 months of doing markets, I have a brand and things are going pretty well, all things considered. In this video, I'm going to take you through some of the learnings and wisdom and mistakes and things that I've thought about in the past 9 months and share them with you. We'll go through what I plan to keep doing, what I plan to stop doing, and what I wish I had started doing way sooner. This one's Solomon, the little one's Frankie. They'll be in here. This video is brought to you by peppermint tea and cat whiskers, the appendage, not the brand. So I actually have a friend or two who are starting out in markets, which is super duper exciting. You know who you are, and I'm very proud of you. And I thought I would make the type of video that I wished I had seen when I was just starting out. I definitely hunted for some, but especially in an Australian context, there were not many. And a lot of them were kind of more just artist vlogs or a day in the lives, which was helpful to an extent for that very specific con or market. But often it would be like a bigger con and I was really starting out small. So I just did my best. And here's what I learned. I think I have 3 main learnings. Obviously, these are going to be bigger learnings. The small stuff is the small stuff. Things like don't forget pens and sticky tape. Everything in my stall is held together with sticky tape. Don't forget your portable charger and don't forget to charge your portable charger. Just stuff like that. Having your phone, hotspot, setting up Square on your phone is great. You can get a Square reader off Facebook Marketplace for 20 bucks. Little things like that. Those are all great, easy tips. I'm talking about some bigger learnings. Learning number 1, don't say yes to everything, but also say yes to most things. Hear me out. So when you're first starting out, you really, unless you have a really kind of established art style or a thought or audience or something, when you're first starting out, you might not know where your stuff's going to sell really well. And so it's important to kind of go to a lot of different types of markets to figure out which ones work best for you. So I said yes to a lot of different markets. I said yes to craft markets, to makers markets, to witchy markets, to gaming markets, to queer markets. And by doing that, I did about 20 markets in less than 6 months. Do not recommend doing that. Burnt out so hard. It was a real bad time. And yeah, don't do that. Learn from my mistakes. What doing that gave me was a really quick understanding of where my audience was. And it wasn't at a craft market in Far East Melbourne. I did not make any money there. But it was at the more eclectic, specific fantasy or witchy markets or with gaming people who really got me and got my stuff. Markets that had the kind of audience in attendance that I would be friends with is where I vibe best. This is kind of specific to me in the sense that I dress up with my stall, it's whimsical, it's a whole thing. And at some markets that just wasn't a vibe and people didn't get it. And that might not be your vibe at all, but the point is to try out all these different places so that you really do understand very quickly where your audience is. So at first it can look like casting a bit of a wider net. It also might mean going to a few more like local community events where the barrier to entry is quite low. And this is also a really great thing because it's not just about finding your audience, it's also about practicing your setup, practicing your customer service skills, figuring out how to place things and how to price things and what works and what doesn't before you really go to those important bigger conventions or specific events that you're really building up to. Learning number 2, and I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands. The numbers aren't your friends. Your friends are your friends. Don't check your sales amount during the day. It doesn't matter. It's not the most important thing. I think a lot of people get really hung up on making table, which means making your table fee back. And I was stoked at first when I would make table or I would double table and I was like, wow, I'm making profit. And that compared to now is a very small amount of money, which is cool and it's important. And obviously if you're running a business, which is going to relate to point 3, you want to be making money, apparently. But it's not the only thing and it's not the most important thing, in my opinion. The people are the most important thing. So as soon as I changed my metric of success for a market day from how many of this can I sell to how many people can I meet, to how many new artists can I discover, how many, can I make a new friend today? Can I learn something from someone today? Can I pet a dog today? One market, I got to pet a rat and that was amazing. Like once you kind of shift that mindset of what makes a successful market or a successful event, you'll find a lot more happiness and a lot more joy in those events rather than stressing over the numbers. If you're happier, more relaxed, and you're talking to people around you, you look like a more approachable person which means people will be attracted to your stall. And I know I just said not to think about that, but it all works out. I think when I started to prioritize connections and friendships, I realized just how rich the market community was in these people who were just so generous and friendly and welcoming and lovely. And I started to get so much more joy out of that than a lot of the customer interactions, although they were great as well. But that's really the main reason I go to markets nowadays, is for the camaraderie and meeting new people and sharing business stuff with small businesses and learning from them. That's the really fun thing. And I got so good at making friends that by the end of the year, I had enough contacts that I was able to invite a bunch of vendors to host my own market, which is cool. And I'm not going to talk about it too much, but there's another one coming up in April, Ren's Fantasy Fair. Learning number 3. Don't be scared of the word brand. I'm doing this again. Now this feels like a business person thing. So the word brand isn't as yucky as you think. I actually have a Pinterest board that's called Gags Brand. And it's like things to do with what I want obeisance to look like. Is that the first time I've said my brand name in this video? I shouldn't have done that. I should have done that at the start. And this is still the mentality here. Your brand's not yucky. It's not yucky. You shouldn't be ashamed of it. It's, if you want to use the word identity, if that feels more comfortable, or store, or business, or whatever, I don't know, side piece, whatever word works for you. But thinking about it isn't yucky. And it's really important. It's important in the sense that to be any kind of successful, you have to have some kind of cohesion with what you're offering. People need to be able to look at your stall and go, I get it. I get it. I understand what's happening here. And I think that's where a lot of stalls go wrong, is it's very it's chaos, which mine lends itself to chaos a lot of the times, and then I have to rein it back in. That's something I learned, right? Or it's just, there's no cohesion to things, or it's just not really clear who you are as well. Like, if people like your stuff, they want to know who you are and they want to know where to find you. And that's what a brand does, what a business or an identity does. It tells them, here's who I am and here's how you can find me and continue to support me, ideally. This is a weird mentality, like this the weird starving artist mentality, right? Where as soon as we start doing art stuff, we're just a little bit ashamed of it. Like, it takes so many people so long to start putting themselves out there in a creative way. And I'm so proud of anyone who does it. It's a huge deal because, and maybe this is just an Australian thing, we have a lot of tall poppy syndrome. We have a lot of don't try to be too special or put yourself out there and it's kind of embarrassing or it's kind of cringe. It's not. It's really cool and more people should be doing it. But that's just like a bit of a cultural thing in Australia, I think, that stops a lot of people from pursuing the thing. We also have a huge amount of like entrepreneurs and small business owners in this country. So it's a bit of a weird paradox of a mindset. But related to that is, I think a lot of artists just don't take themselves seriously. You know, when you see something as your side hobby or something, and like, you're not going to ever make any money out of it if you don't take it seriously. So if you want it to be able to support you, you have to think about it. And a really great example of this is the fact that I didn't put my brand name on my greeting cards or my zines or my potions or my prints, actually, for months, because I thought it was being pushy. I thought it was, I was like, no, that's selfish. What? That's the point. And I got to a point where I was like thinking about my greeting cards, especially because they do really well for me. And I'm thinking about how to get more out there and to share the joy and the whimsy. And I'm thinking, yeah, so if someone gives a greeting card to someone, that person really likes it and they want to buy something from me, but the thing doesn't have a name on it. And then the person who gave it to them, it was months ago and they can't remember my name or where they saw me. That's a lead. That's a dead lead. That's everything's gone bad there. And so I finally was like, I'm going to put my brand name on my cards and on my zines and stuff. But there was hundreds of things out there in the wild that were just not helping me or helping my brand because I refused to call it such. It was just this thing that I was doing. But it's not. It's my art and I care about it and it's starting to support me in a really real way. And I'm very grateful for that. And I want to continue doing that because it makes me happy. And I think it brings other people happiness. And I feel like all of that is okay. So yeah, brand isn't a yucky word. The second part of said realization was when I took stock of my market store recently, because it had gotten a bit chaotic and I was like gonna redesign some stuff, and I looked at it and went, I can't actually, in this particular photo I'd taken, I can't see my brand name anywhere. Like, I had a piece of cardboard with my brand name on it, kind of taped up to the back. It was very hard to see, compared to a lot of market people who have like a big banner with their name on it, and that feels really scary, or did for a while. And now it's just gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm an idiot, because if someone's across the convention hall looking at my stuff going, oh, that's really cool, but I don't have time to check them out, they don't have a name. Cool, gone forever. Even if you're not thinking in terms of like brand or scaling or that big, even if you are just getting started, like things like a name and some kind of iconography or vibe, like the feeling people get when they approach your stall, that's important, because that's an impression. I think I've said all I needed to say. I need to get some water in me right now. Oh, speaking of supporting artists, this is my bug bottle, and all the stickers are from really cool artists, and I'm gonna get more. So that's the other thing, right? It's like, obviously try not to spend all of the money you make at the market, but support the people around you, at least your stall buddies, you know, your neighbors, because it's just that good karma that comes back to you. So why am I starting back up with YouTube, and why am I not doing autism stuff anymore? Well, I am still autistic. This is all related still, but I want to relaunch this place as an important bridging platform between my Instagram, where things are great at the moment, to my Patreon. My voice just went so high. To my Patreon, said seriously, on which is my snail mail card club called Huzzah or whatever. And I know it's really hard to get people from Instagram, which is a platform where no one cares and no one pays for anything, to Patreon, where you have to care and you have to pay for stuff. So I'm trying to get somewhere in the middle in terms of discoverability and profit. And I feel like YouTube is kind of a middle ground there. So I'm going to be making more videos here, but if you would like to check out my Patreon Snail Mail Club, the first letters will be going out March, which is today, soon. Now is March, it is March now. I forgot how short February is. What do you get? You get a greeting card, you get a sticker, and you get whimsical facts about the medieval period and why bestiaries look like they did. Just fun facts. That's what ties it back to the autism. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please go draw something and go drink some tea.